Well, it's held every 5 years, unlike a sort of Tory or a Labour Party conference. This is the chance for the party to not talk about the party, about the whole system, because it's not a multi-party democracy. So the aim of the Congress is to underline the right of the party to rule and the rightness, the correctness of its rule over the last 5 years and what's coming in the future. There are about under 3,000 delegates. And the party Congress has three main roles. The first is to elect the new Central Committee, which is 2005 full members and 170 odd alternate members, people who don't get the vote but attend. This is an election with Chinese characteristics, of course, which means that the result is known in advance. It's been ordained almost by Xi Jinping, and they're very close to him as to who will be on the Central Committee. There's a little bit of room for wiggle because there are usually 8% more candidates than actually become members, but it's very reduced. And the other election is to the Central Commission for Discipline and Inspection, which is the party's Spanish Inquisition, which keeps people from being corrupt in theory and loyal to the party itself and its leaders. So that's one role, the election. It then hears two very important reports, the General Secretary, Xi Jinping's report on what's happened in the past 5 years and what's going to happen in the next 5 years, and the Discipline Inspection Committee's report. And the third role is to amend the Constitution, which again is the most important role because it's the document which underlines the Chinese Communist Party's power. And out of this Congress will emerge Xi Jinping, as you rightly said, I think almost certainly as leader again for his third 5 terms. And just a quick look forward, it's also, the process doesn't really end with the Congress. There's a day's rest after it, and then the new Central Committee meets for the first time and elects its 25-person Politburo. That's a very powerful organization. Again, that election will have been set out in advance. Xi Jinping will know already who is going to be members of that. And that in turn, that Politburo in turn elects the 7-man, and it is men, there will be no women in the most powerful body, the 7-man standing committee of the Politburo, which is really in charge.
So with all of this happening, and so much of your answer has been, we know what's going to happen, he will know Xi Jinping will know what's going to happen already. I mean, we know that things aren't going to change. I mean, China has an iron grip over its people. And you just wonder, Xi Jinping is going to rule again. Does anything change? Because there are challenges there, aren't there? There's challenges to the economy. I mean, the zero COVID strategy, if nothing else, which is hugely unpopular and has seen some protests within China.
Yes, I mean, the system itself won't change, and the powers of the Communist Party and the way they're implemented won't change. But you're right. I mean, events move on and they have to adjust to those. But nothing so far, and I've quickly skimmed the report that Xi Jinping made to the Congress. There's nothing in that indicates major policy changes. I mean, for instance, what you mentioned, COVID, the COVID policy is there to stay, and I think it's there to stay at least until mid next year. And other elements like Taiwan, etc. These are alluded to, but you don't see at this Congress the detailed, possibly if they're going to come, any detailed changes in policy. You see the overall direction.